Get your Stylus ready. A unique Pokémon world awaits. Pokémon Ranger.
Hey, how's it going, Nostalgic? It's Ryan from the Nostalgia Factor, and it has been some time since I've picked up the camera and actually went to film a YouTube video. I've been on a hiatus for some time for personal reasons and for school reasons, but that's not the point of this video. I'm not going to get into it. Point is, I'll be doing the occasional video now and then, mostly going to be centered on reviews, and I'm going to be changing up the formula a little bit on how I do these reviews. But again, enough of that. You guys will be able to tell from this video if you haven't already. Let's get into the review for today in the form of Pokémon Ranger, made in 2006 by Nintendo. This game right here holds many very fond childhood memories of mine that honestly, this is one of my favorite Nintendo DS games out there. This game, as we'll get into in a second, it's a simple game in concept. It does have a story to it, and has some really cool extra content and features to it. But overall, what you see is what you get when you understand the gameplay mechanics, and overall what you're going to be doing for the game while participating in the story. So overall, since this is the first out of, I believe, 3 Pokémon Ranger games, the gameplay is still pretty simple, so this won't be like an in-depth analysis. Trust me, this isn't something like Dark Souls, but we'll get into that.
The key to your adventure is the Capture Styler. Encircle a wild Pokémon to capture it.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Capture Stylus is the main gameplay mechanic that you're going to be using throughout this game to capture Pokemon. The Capture Stylus is a really unique aspect that utilizes the bottom half of the Nintendo DS screen, or DSi if you're playing on the more advanced version of the Nintendo DS. You use the stylus to draw loops around Pokemon. In order to count down a number, it could be 20, you have to count down all the way to 0 in order to capture the Pokemon and add it to your party. The party system in this game works a bit differently than other Pokemon Ranger games, but considering this is the first one, that's no surprise. You can carry up to 6 Pokemon with you, and as per the story dictates, you have a partner Pokemon. Now, in later games such as Shadows of Almia and Guardian Signs, you can choose, well, actually, no, not Guardian Signs. Shadows of Almia, though, it did a bit differently, where you can have multiple partner Pokemon that you could have from quests, which are not present in this game, but you could have a selection of multiple Pokemon that you could select from your hometown. This game doesn't provide that mechanic. The partner Pokemon you're stuck with throughout this entire game is Minun, but Minun provides a really cool compatibility function that we'll discuss later when we get more into the Pokemon assists and clearing obstacles and whatnot. But for what this game does with a simple mechanic, because that's what you're going to be doing for all the game. That's how you capture Pokemon. And until you complete the main campaign, you can't take all these Pokemon out with you either. So, unfortunately, until you beat the campaign and you beat the bad guys, you're not going to be able to take all these Pokemon with you out of the area that you catch them. So, overall, this game has really simple mechanics, but it works to its advantage, and it makes a kind of simplistic game work really well.
The Pokémon you capture will help you along the way. Some Pokémon can use field moves to help you clear the path, or Poke Assist to help you capture more Pokémon.
Yes, the other main function that you're going to be doing in this game, while traversing through these different locations throughout the region of Fire, you're going to be clearing obstacles with the Pokemon in your party. You're also going to have to be using Pokemon for certain mechanics in battle. And, well, battle loosely. This isn't a Pokemon battle. Instead, the boss battles that you have while you're face off against the different members of the Go Rock Squad, which are the bad guys in this game, you're going to be using Pokemon Assist. Now, Pokemon Assist, like I mentioned before, work 2 different ways. And from the footage earlier, you guys might be able to get a better idea of what I'm talking about from a visual perspective. You're going to be using Pokemon Assist to clear obstacles throughout the entire game, whether it be felling a tree that you have to use to cross a gap across a stream in the jungle, or you're going to have to use it to smash boulders in the cave in order to clear a path through Crockett Tunnel, which connects 2 of the towns together that you're going to be exploring to, Fall City and Ringtown, which is, you know, the city that you start off with. But you're going to be using Pokemon Assist for those. The other function in this game, like I mentioned briefly, this isn't a Pokemon battle game. When you have to capture the boss Pokemon with your stylus, count the number down, all that simple stuff. But you're going to be using different Pokemon Assists that work type-wise to your advantage. For example, if you have to use a Pokemon Assist to help you immobilize the Pokemon so that you can draw enough loops around it in order to catch it, and the Pokemon is a rock type. If you use a fire type, Pokemon Assist isn't going to be as effective because the 2 types don't match. However, if you use a water type and it's a rock type, that works more to your advantage and has it last longer. So while this game, again, more simple premise with capturing Pokemon by using Pokemon Assists, It's a bit different than other games, especially when this game came out back in 2006. It still works to its advantage, though, with the detail that it implements, with, you know, the unique mechanics with the different types that you're going to have to interact with, that you're going to have to know in depth. You're going to have to experiment with it, especially in the late game, and know what types work best with what captures. So, overall, though, the mechanics that are present in this game in the forms of that stuff work really well. Now, I suppose this is the part of the review where I go over the story. There isn't much to the story whatsoever. The main stuff that you're going to want to take away from it are the Pokemon assists, the strategizing with the Pokemon in order to make captures with all the boss Pokemon, and of course, just the art of capturing Pokemon in general. The story in this game, you play as a ranger who's new to the Fiora region, and eventually, as you go through your journey, you meet a bunch of people that become your allies, and you stop this team known as the Go Rock Squad, and their leader known as Gordor, from basically using a Super Styler to take over the entire region with 3 legendary dog Pokemon, which are Suicune, Entei, and Raikou, and you have to stop him from doing that. Simple story, different enough from other Pokemon games where with the new mechanics, it kind of implements it well in, especially with the late game. The other aspect of it, though, that I can kind of see some people thinking that's a bit tedious is, before you go into the final boss fight especially, you have to go and you have to farm a bunch of Pokemon assists. The problem with that is you encounter so many different members of the Go Rock Squad beforehand. If you use that Pokemon assist, you have to go all the way back through the Temple Ruins in order to get that Pokemon back. Now me, I played this game so many times, I have a certain set number of Pokemon and certain specific Pokemon from the ruins to take to the top of the temple where Gordor is, that I know works for each fight against Raikou, Suicune, and Entei, which I think works really well. However, though, at the same time, I can see again why it'd be a bit tedious, but it still works to your advantage, and it's not hard once you get it down. For first-time players, I can understand why some people may not prefer this style of battle system, so to speak, you know, especially since it's not one of the mainline Pokemon games, but it still works to his advantage, and it's still a really good game overall, seriously.
Get your Stylus ready for this exciting Pokemon adventure. Pokemon Ranger.
That is going to wrap up today's brief review of Pokemon Ranger. Overall, guys, with all the new stuff that this presented back in the day, and the little mini spin-off franchise it produced, the different mechanics that you have, the strategizing with the types, the Pokemon assists, the different unique way of capturing Pokemon, the different enough story that goes into this really cool world of the Fiora region. Overall, this game did a lot right, and I think it's a game worth checking out if you haven't played it for yourself. The Pokemon Ranger series, I understand, may not be everyone's cup of tea. You may just want to stick with the Pokemon Trainer games, but I'd give this game a shot if you haven't played it yet. It was the start of 3 games in the franchise, which isn't much, but in my personal opinion, this one was the best out of all of them. The other games had more emphasis on extra content and whatnot, and it had more emphasis on more gameplay styles, and definitely they were longer and had a more intricate story, but this game works well enough, I think. So overall, really good game, and I highly recommend you check it out. Now, with that in mind, everybody, this has been it for today's brief review. I kind of just wanted to do this to kind of get back into the whole YouTube thing. I'm going to be doing occasional videos, and I'm sorry for leaving for so long, guys. I don't want to overwork myself, though, going forward, and I definitely still want to keep the gameplay element of this intact, whereas the gameplay footage that you guys have seen in this video, I didn't capture. This was actually footage from, I believe, the official trailer released when this game was coming out. Of course, any gameplay that I use in the future, I will properly credit. You guys can find the links in the description if you want to check them out at the original source. But just know going forward, I am going to try to use not much, but certain footage that I can use to convey the review to you guys. Kind of make these shorter and not drag them out, but also show professionally done gameplay footage to show you guys what's going on. And I know I'm doing this little bit of rundown at the end of the video because it has been so long, and I'm just kind of explaining my own thoughts on what I want to do going forward with these reviews. But anyway, if you guys have any suggestions of things that you want me to do in the future on the channel besides reviews, let me know in the comments. It's going to be back doing these occasional videos. I have more reviews planned in the future, and one thing that I did want to address at the end too was the thumbnail change for the reviews. My friend Reject, you guys know him by this point, he's helped me out with a few Nostalgic Blast reviews in the past, but the thumbnails going forward for these reviews are going to be really unique and really are, as you guys can tell, come on, I look really slick as a Pokemon Ranger, let's be honest here. But that kind of artwork and like an implementation of me from the channel being in the game, that's going to be kind of thing I want to go do going forward. So Reject, thank you so much for your help so far, man. I guess he'll continue to help me in the future. Thank you so much, man. If you guys want to go check him out, he'll be credited every single time. You guys better go and check him out because he does some really good content. Either way, though, I've rambled on for too long. It was kind of warranted, though, at the end of this review. So, either way, thank you guys once again for watching. It's good to be back doing occasional videos here. And, yeah, until next time, Nostalgics, this has been Ryan from the Nostalgia Factor saying, keep on gaming, everybody. And have a good one.